corpse rose tattoo. In 2016, there was a murder that shocked public opinion for a long time, causing confusion for people living near the area of the murder. That case happened in a small city in Shandong province. In this city, there is a small river. The air here is very cool and fresh, so many people often come here to exercise and in the morning. This shocking case started right here. Like many other people living near the river, Mr. Wu goes to the river every morning to exercise. That morning too, after sweating a lot, Mr. Wu approached the railing by the river to rest and breathe in the air. At that moment, he saw something that had just washed up on the riverbank. Taking a closer look, Mr. Wu realized it was a large canvas bag. This type of bag is often used by clothing dealers because it can hold a lot of items. The bag now seems to float down from the river above. Looking at the inflated bag, Mr. Wu couldn't help but wonder what it contained. Unable to contain his curiosity, Mr. Wu immediately went down to the riverbank, where the bag had just washed up. Before coming down here, he had brought a small branch. Now he is using it to probe the bag. After poking a few times into the bag, he was unable to determine what was inside. Mr. Wu decided to open the bag. As soon as the zipper was pulled open a bit, the bag's contents fell out, causing Mr. Wu to scream loudly. It was the hand of a corpse. After the body was discovered, the people around quickly informed the police. The police immediately arrived. They quickly sealed off the scene, preventing curious people from approaching. After carrying out the necessary formalities, the police carried the body away from the riverbank. The corpse was quickly examined by the forensic team to determine the cause and time of death. Initially, they identified some important information. The victim was identified as a woman in her 30s, 1.6 meters tall. What caught the attention of investigators was that this woman's body had been cut into pieces. From this detail can see the cruelty of the killer. Further investigation, inside the bag, also contained several clothes believed to belong to the victim, all of which were cheap. Although the clothes were just ordinary, the victim's underwear was high class. Police suspect that the victim was sexually assaulted before she died. But after an examination, there was no evidence that the victim had been sexually assaulted. The girl's body also has a very prominent feature, a tattoo of a rose on her chest. The city police chief immediately convened an emergency meeting. During the meeting, the police chief asked the investigators to investigate this case in the fastest time to find the killer. He also added that the public is very confused. If the killer is not quickly found, the police force's reputation will be greatly affected. During the meeting, the information from the forensic side was carefully reviewed. From the collected data, the investigators all realized that this case was quite complicated. Many things need to be clarified. All personal items of the victim, such as phones, wallets, were not on the victim. But all the expensive jewelry on the victim was still intact, which led investigators to determine that this was not a murder case. Another difficulty is that the victim has been dead for a long time, so the body has begun to show signs of decomposition, hiding fingerprints, so it is almost impossible to identify. The chief of police requested that the goal of identifying the victim be a top priority. Only when the victim's identity can be identified can it be possible to localize her relationships, from which there will be a specific investigation direction. After the meeting, investigators began to conduct an investigation. The first is from pre-existing clues. There are two things to be concerned about: the tattoo on the chest and the underwear on the victim. The first is the tattoo. Currently, tattooing is becoming a popular art form, so investigating the origin of this tattoo is completely fruitless. The tattooists all say that their customers have many. They are not impressed with the image of the girl that the police provide. One of the tattooists shared with the police that the tattoo that the police provide is a tattoo chosen by many people. It is nothing special. Even he has tattooed it for many clients, both male and female. At this point, the investigation work seems to come to a dead end. The investigation team on the origin of the underwear also encountered a similar situation. After a lot of efforts of the investigative teams but with no results, the forensic department has reported good news, which is decisive in the investigation. From the moment of receiving the case, the forensic staff tried to recover the victim's fingerprints. In the end, they succeeded. Since then, the identity of the victim has also been clarified. Initially, the police identified this girl as Lu, her hometown. All her information is stored in the National Bibliographic System. Immediately, the police sent people to find the victim's hometown. It was a poor and remote province in the south. For the police to access this place, they had to spend a lot of effort. After they worked with the local police force and the people in this area, the police finally found the victim's house. When they heard what the police had just announced, the girl's parents were suspicious and kept saying that there was a mistake in this matter. According to Lu's parents, she is still in regular contact with them. A few days ago, she texted them to tell them that she was fine. There was no way their daughter had died. After hearing all the information from the police, the victim's parents finally accepted that their daughter was murdered. But from here, an important clue is discovered. The police concluded that the messages received by the victim's parents were very likely to be fabricated by the perpetrator to hide his crime. The longer you talk to the victim's parents, the more new clues are discovered. The victim's parents said that Lu recently had a boyfriend named Hu. When he was busy with work, Lu often asked Hu to inform his parents about his condition. He recently texted them frequently, saying that Lu had changed her phone number, so she asked him to text her parents. The police then asked Lu's parents to call Hu. On the phone, Hu said that Lu was fine and would work as usual. She has been busy with work in recent days, so Lu can't call home. This further confirmed the police speculation about Hu's involvement in Lu's death. Through the information provided by Lu's parents, the police obtained Hu's address. According to the victim's parents, when they went to the city to visit their daughter in the past, Lu had brought them to Hu's house. Lu's parents also added that Hu is a gentle and easygoing person. Finally, the case has begun to have a breakthrough. The investigator ordered his subordinates to immediately report the information obtained to the city police. Hope they can find Hu as soon as possible. As soon as receiving the information, the city police immediately summoned Hu to the investigation agency to work. But 2 days later, he was still not present. On the third day, when the police arrived at the house, they discovered that Hu intended to leave the residence. Immediately, the police restrained Hu and brought him to the police headquarters. During the search of Hu's person and whereabouts, police discovered Lu's phone, personal papers, and bank cards. At the investigation agency, the police repeatedly questioned Hu about the origin of these assets. To the police question, Hu answered in a roundabout way. Hu told police that Lu often had to travel at night. Her work is also sensitive, so she gave these things to Hu to take care of. But when the police asked why Lu gave the phone to Hu to keep, Hu faltered and couldn't answer. The police kept asking why Hu was in such a hurry to leave the house. He replied that a friend in another province wanted him to come to work urgently, so he left in such a hurry. In the end, after many interrogations, the police still did not get any more information about the case. realizing that it would be difficult to extract more information from Hu. The police decided to return to the place where Hu lived, hoping to get useful information. Fortunately, Hu lives in a fairly crowded apartment complex, so the investigation is not difficult. In addition, people living on the same floor as Hu confirmed seeing Lu at Hu's house around the time of Lu's death. The police asked the building's security to review the security cameras for the police to confirm the above information. Thanks to this, the police obtained an important clue. According to the image recorded by the camera, 15 days before Lu's body was discovered, at 12 o'clock at night, Hu appeared in the elevator with his mother and younger brother. But what caught the investigators' attention was the bag the three of them were carrying. It looked exactly like Lu's body bag when it was discovered on the riverbank. After capturing this important detail, the police immediately extracted the image from the security camera. At the interrogation room of the investigation agency, the police asked Hu to explain the image captured by the camera. As soon as he saw the image in the policeman's hand, Hu was startled, his face darkened, and he could not speak. After a moment of silence, Hu finally bowed his head to confess. Hu admitted to killing Lu. After killing Lu, Hu accompanied his mother and younger brother to take Lu's body and throw it into the river. He did it to destroy the funeral but did not expect the body to be discovered so quickly. At this point, Hu could no longer hold back. He burst into tears and said it was all an accident. He really didn't want to kill Lu. Hu added that he still loved Lu very much, all because of his anger for a minute. Then he started to tell everything. According to Hu, he and Lu met by chance. After dating for a while, Lu decided to move in with Hu. But also from here, Hu discovered that Lu often spent the night. Lu explained that he had to work overtime at night. Not accepting her lover's answer, Hu took her phone to check. He was shocked to discover that Lu's place of work was not a garment factory, as she said, but a nightclub. At this point, Lu could only cry and ask Hu to forgive her. Lu said that the work at the factory is extremely hard, but the salary is not high, and recently her mother reported that her father is seriously ill and needs money to pay for hospital fees. With no other choice, Lu had to go to a nightclub to work part-time at night. Seeing his lover like this, Hu feels heartbroken. He tells Lu to quit his job at the nightclub and try to earn money to help her. But what happened next made Hu very disappointed in Lu. Lu once promised to return to work at the factory, but that was just a lie. Lu continued to go to the nightclub in the evening. The climax was when Hu discovered Lu was using drugs. At this time, Lu was high on drugs and lying motionless in the toilet. After Lu regained consciousness, Hu scolded Lu severely. He didn't expect Lu to be able to deceive him over and over again. Also, from this argument, Hu discovered that Lu's father was not sick, as she said. The money that Hu gave to Lu was used by Lu to play and buy drugs. Feeling Hu slowly losing his temper, Lu immediately ran to the door. In his anger, Hu couldn't control himself. He rushed over and held Lu back because Lu was constantly struggling to get out, so Hu used his strength to control Lu. But he did not expect that it was this action that made Lu unable to breathe. Only when Lu could no longer move did Hu realize what he had done in shock. He was so scared, he kept calling Lu's name, but she couldn't answer anymore. Lu died from being strangled for too long. After the shock passed, Hu gradually realized what he was doing and became afraid. He looked around to see if anyone had seen the incident. He was afraid that the noise from the argument had caught someone's attention. But at this point, everyone was at work, so no one knew what was going on. Hu immediately dragged Lu's body back into the house. Hu's mood at this time was extremely helpless and panicked. He couldn't leave Lu's body in the house, nor did he know how he could bring it out without attracting attention. Hu was about to report his actions to the police, but as soon as he thought about it, he feared that he would be sentenced to death for what he had done. Finally, with no other choice, Hu called his mother and told her everything. After answering the phone, Hu's mother reassured him that everything would be fine. She told Hu not to go anywhere before she and Hu's brother arrived. While waiting for his mother to arrive, Hu suddenly had a terrible idea. Hu ran over to get a large canvas bag from the room. Then he cut Lu's body into pieces and stuffed it in the bag. Until it was stuffed into the bag, Lu's eyes remained half open to look at Hu. Hu told police that Lu's gaze at the time haunted him. Every night he has nightmares. Hu admits that he will never be able to forget that look even to death. After Hu's mother and brother arrived at the scene, the three put the body together in a car and ran out of the city. When they reached a deserted bridge, the three threw Lu's body into the river. The river water was quite strong at this time, so they hoped that the body would be swept far away. But what the three did not expect was that the body was washed ashore, less than 20 kilometers from where they threw the body. After completing his confession, Hu could not hold back his tears and burst into tears. Hu said that he still loves Lu very much. Everything was just a moment of anger that caused serious consequences. But what makes Hu most regretful is that his mother and younger brother are also entangled in the law for aiding him because of him.